Welcome all friends. Today I go to explain the foundation of Buddhism. So before going to the video, subscribe to the channel. At the start, let's see what is the meaning of the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths are the foundation of Buddhism, first taught by the Buddha after he achieved enlightenment. While the term Four Noble Truths is well known, it's important to clarify that noble refers not to the truths themselves, but to those who fully understand and realize them. A better way to think about it is four truths understood by the spiritually wise. These truths reveal the nature of life and suffering, and through understanding them, the Buddha found enlightenment and freedom from the cycle of rebirth. All forms of Buddhism recognize these Four Noble Truths, and they have been widely studied and discussed for centuries. Now let's see what is the first noble truth. First noble truth is suffering. The first truth is that suffering exists. Life as we experience it is full of different kinds of suffering. The Buddha explained that suffering includes obvious things like birth, aging, sickness, and death, as well as more subtle forms, like feeling sadness when we encounter things we don't like or when we're separated from things we love. There's also suffering when we don't get what we want, and even in the very structure of our mind and body, our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations, there's an underlying sense of dissatisfaction. This first truth helps us recognize that suffering is a natural part of life. Let's see what is second noble truth. It is the cause of suffering. The second truth explains why we suffer. According to the Buddha, the root cause is craving or attachment. We suffer because we cling to things we desire, whether it's material possessions, relationships, or even ideas. We get attached to things we think will make us happy, but they are often temporary and changeable. Other Buddhist teachings add that suffering is also caused by negative actions like harming others, and by mental states such as desire, hatred, and ignorance. Ignorance in this context means misunderstanding reality, thinking things are permanent when they're not, seeing happiness in things that actually bring pain, and believing in a permanent self when there isn't one. Let's see what is the third noble truth. It is the end of the suffering. The third truth offers hope. Suffering can end. The Buddha taught that by overcoming our attachment and craving, we can achieve a state where suffering ceases. This state is called nirvana, or nibbana in Pali. Nirvana is a profound peace, free from the cycle of suffering and rebirth. It's the ultimate goal of Buddhist practice, a state where the causes of suffering, craving, ignorance, and attachment are fully eliminated. Let's see what is the fourth noble truth. Fourth one is the path to the end of suffering. The final truth is about the path that leads to the end of suffering. The Buddha described this path in his first sermon, and it's often referred to as the Noble Eightfold Path. This path includes guiding principles for ethical conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. By following the Eightfold Path, we gradually reduce our attachments and cravings, gaining insight into the true nature of reality, which ultimately leads to nirvana. In summary, the Four Noble Truths provide a complete framework for understanding and overcoming suffering. Suffering exists as an unavoidable part of life. There is a cause of suffering, which is our attachment and craving. Suffering can end through the state of nirvana. The path to end suffering is the Noble Eightfold Path. We will see more about the Noble Eightfold Path later in another video. These truths show us that while suffering is an inevitable part of life, there is a way out. So we end today's video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more things. Hit the like button and drop a comment. Share this valuable video. Goodbye.